The NFL is back, and FanDuel's got everything you need to play your game, from same-game parlays to live betting. Right now, new customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. 21 plus in present and select states. 18 plus in Kentucky and Wyoming. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
And a good Wednesday to you, ladies, gentlemen, fanatics of all ages. Welcome to Phillies Therapy, part of the Believe Podcast Network. We come to you today not feeling super great about things. Well, me anyway. I'm the fan here. The Phillies are down 2-0 in the National League Division Series. They dropped games 1 and 2 at home. The mystique around Citizens Bank Park is severely damaged at this point. The Phillies' chances at getting to the World Series, heck, advancing past this division series, they're slim. They need to do something heroic. They need to do something borderline miraculous. They need to go into Los Angeles, win tonight, October 8th, Game 3, against Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who, like the two guys who took the mound before him in the series, is very good. He will be opposed by Aaron Nola, who had a very bad season. He will not last long in this game, and he'll be followed up by a smorgasbord of pitching. All of which is to say the Phillies need to get 27 outs. They need to find a way to score more than 3 runs. And then they got to do it all over again, both times on the road, before ideally coming back here to Philadelphia for a Game 5. It is a tall task that stands in front of them, but they are not out of it yet, and they will not be out of it until they record their 27th out on offense in their 3rd loss. That's what we got. That's the outlook we got to take. And with that, let me bring in my co-host. He is the Phillies beat writer for The Athletic. He is out in Los Angeles. He is Matt Gell. Matt, hi. How are you? How was your trip out west?
What if I told you that one team in this series has a 564 OPS in 2 games, and one team in this series has a 600 OPS in this series? Which team do you think has the higher OPS?
Oh, man. It doesn't make
me
feel
Phillies.
Better. It doesn't make me feel better.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But it is kind of funny.
It's so funny. Matt, the Phillies offense scored 3 runs for the second straight game in Game 2. And that once again was
That's
not
7
enough.
out of the last 8 now.
Yeah.
7 out of the last 8 postseason games in which they have scored 3 runs or fewer.
It's just, it isn't enough. And there's so much now that comes down to whether the offense can just do enough.
Something.
Just one time. It all
Something.
matters.
Especially early in Game 3,
Game 3,
right?
do or die. You got to do it tonight, and then you worry about Game 4 later if you get there.
Sure, but like
offense has to show up, but they have to do it against one of the best pitchers in the National League. Again, I feel like I'm repeating myself. It's not like the Dodgers are throwing scrubs out here. They're about to throw their 3rd straight really good starting pitcher against this lineup, but it's not as if the Phillies have thrown out scrubs in their first 2 games, and the Dodgers did enough to win. The Phillies have not done that, and we're coming on a couple years of not doing enough. Matt, I think one of the big questions here relating to the offense's capabilities and the hope that they could get the job done against Yamamoto and whoever may follow him tonight comes down to the outfield, because we saw Harrison Bader pinch hit in Game 2, and he immediately needed to be pinch run for after singling. He's apparently just still not good enough to run, which is understandable. It's incredible enough that he was able to take his pinch hit appearance and get a hit. You figure he almost might be on the injured list if this was the regular season, but he made it work. With the couple of days that have passed between game 2 and now, has anything improved with his status and his likelihood or prospects of starting here in game 3? Hopefully he would still be available.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if Bader plays in game 3. We watched him do some work on the field at Dodger Stadium yesterday during the workout, under the watchful eyes of like a half a dozen Phillies employees. I wouldn't describe it as very intense work on the field. The club, by the way, is describing it as inflammation between his hamstring and groin. Bader has said hamstring. The Phillies have said groin. I mean, it's basically like, whatever, flip a coin. But it's
upper
around
leg.
there. Yeah, upper leg.
Yeah.
I'd be really surprised if he plays. And that's tough. I mean, that's tough because you would love to have that guy out there just because of what it does for the rest of your outfield. But, I would expect, Marsh and Kepler to obviously be playing against a righty. Don't really know what they do with the other spot. I mean, like, right on right against a pitcher who has this devastating splitter who gets a lot of swings and misses out of the zone. Not the best kind of matchup for Nick Castellanos. But then again, like, I have a hard time seeing them not playing him. I don't know, Paul. Like, what would your outfield be in this do or die game 3? Or is this splitting hairs? Does it even matter?
I think it. Oh God, how do I even answer that question? Because it's so hard. Like, it should matter, and that's the obvious answer. But we're looking at 3 guys. Nick, Weston Wilson, Otto Kemp. Right, would be your 3 right on right options.
Sure.
Probably. And it's just like, what separates the 3 of them right now? Especially
somebody who doesn't chase. Because
yeah.
Yamamoto is very good.
Yeah,
and he will try to get guys to chase.
I would imagine there's deference to the veteran here, and Nick gets the start. And I don't know how much better or worse that's going to be than the other guys, because all 3 of them, Wilson is the best defender out of the 3 of them, but right on right, he was brought here to be a lefty masher, right? Mostly, I would think, and especially because Otto Kemp got the start over him in game 2. I
mean, they probably want to hold Wilson back if they use Bader in the game and need to.
Yeah,
I don't know. The whole thing,
and that's tough too, because
it
locks you in. It locks you into these multiplayer moves, and they're far from ideal. Boy, I don't know. I think this question, like the ones in this same vein before it, need to be made irrelevant by the top of the order. It just has to happen one of these times. It just has to happen. Trey Turner showed life in game 2.
He did. I thought he had some good at-bats.
He did. I continue to not understand what's happening with Schwarber and Harper. This opens up the same conversation from last year after the Mets series was over. Thinking about how much stock do you put into a single series loss in the face of a much, much longer regular season where things were so much different. Obviously, Kyle Schwarber is going to finish second in MVP voting. He hit 56 home runs in the regular season. He didn't have a great September, but he had a really, really good rest of the year. Okay. Bryce Harper is a 2-time MVP who we expected to be built for moments like this, to try and be a hero one more time as he gets into his mid-30s. And through 2 games, which again is 1/80th of the size of a regular season, neither of them has done that. Kyle Schwarber has put up bad at-bats. Bryce Harper has put up bad at-bats and not come through. It's been on the rest of the lineup to do this. And
it's funny because the rest of the lineup has generally had decent at-bats. Like, does that sound, is that crazy to say?
No,
like,
they have.
I was talking about this with some Phillies people yesterday. Like, you almost, like, you expect to be slapped in the face when you say that. But, like, the at-bats have been okay.
Yeah.
Like, they have been okay in general. And that is insane to say because they've only scored 6 runs and they have not hit a home run and they've not come through in important moments. I don't think that they have necessarily... I would say the quality of the at-bats is very different than it was in the NLDS last year against the Mets. When it's very clear that the Phillies were a far superior team, and they were beating themselves. So, Paul, I wonder, like, how do you square these two games? Like, because we know the Dodgers have won both. The Dodgers have played better. How much better do you think the Dodgers are than the Phillies? And does that matter?
Man, the short answer is I still have the same view of these two teams coming into the series, because I have to force my view of that now because it's a big deficit. But they're the same team. Not in terms of the same players or the same way they roll out a lineup or this, not that way. They're the same team in terms of quality, overall quality. 3 wins separated them in the regular season. They have just about full complements of rosters. Both of them are going with their A teams, minus a little bit here. They are putting a representative
Zach Wheeler
out there. The Phillies are missing Zach Wheeler. They're still throwing good starters out there, and they did through games 1 and game 2. I don't see the gulf as big, and losing a series to the Dodgers is not the same as losing to the 24 Mets.
Okay, but then how's that affect how you look at, let's say they lose game 3 and they're swept. How does that affect how you look at things going into this offseason?
It's a great,
this is a hypothetical. I know it's a hypothetical. I know we're getting ahead of us, but still, like, just because of what you laid out, and I agree with you. I agree with you. It is a different feeling. Nevertheless, it is still a series loss, and you're still going to be looking at yourselves internally and saying, now what?
Yeah. Yes, that is the question. Now what is absolutely the question, and is more of a now what, and yes, again, we are still getting ahead of ourselves. They have not lost that 3rd game. If they do, and they bow out in this series, it is a different situation now for this coming off season too, with the caliber and importance of guys who are set to be free agents and the guys you may lose off this roster, plus the uncertain futures of a couple players, like Zach Wheeler, like we were just talking about. It is the now what is, think of it as you're typing out something, you're writing a story, and you change the font size from 12 to 24. It's just bigger on the page, and it is staring you in the face. And I would really rather the Phillies not have to face that question so soon. We know it's coming. We've known it's coming since even before this season started, and we knew who was pending as a free agent.
Yeah.
But they're still here. They're still together, and they still have a shot at this thing. They got to do a really, really tricky thing to make it happen.
Well, if you want to, okay, so let's lay out the scenario for them, pulling this off. To me, in my opinion, game 3 is the tallest task they will face the rest of the way. And that might sound stupid, but if you pull off game 3 somehow, I'm not quite sure how, you have a tiny ounce of momentum, because game 4, you feel like you have a pitching advantage. It would be Sanchez versus Glass now.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you do get it to game 5, you feel like you have all the momentum, because now you've made the Dodgers come back across the country. And even though they would be pitching Shohei Ohtani, you would have Luzardo, Suarez, everybody, and you would feel like invincible because you just went to Dodger Stadium and won 2, and we're going to come back and win this. So in my opinion, like, laying out that hypothetical, game 3 is the tallest task. And they're going to start Aaron Nola. It's a decision that can be made. I have asked as many people as I can to try to explain this to me, and most have really not been able to explain it.
Oh boy.
Which is a problem. But I think generally the best explanation I've gotten is that this could help them maybe solve their issues in the 6th and 7th inning in a sort of roundabout way, in that I think in their ideal world, Nola faces the Dodgers once through the order. Now, if he's pitching better, like, maybe he keeps going, and if they have a lead, he keeps going. But I think their path to 27 outs is like about 9-ish from Nola, and 13-ish, 12-ish from Ranger. And if you get that, if you get 4 innings from Ranger and 3 innings from Nola, which again is their perfect scenario, that's 7. And so, you feel better. Maybe it's Duran for the last 2, maybe it's Strahm in the 8th, depending on who's coming up, and then Duran. Maybe it's a combination of whatever. But all the runs that the Phillies have given up in this series, Paul, have been in the 6th and the 7th innings of the first 2 games. 9 runs. And I don't know. The Dodgers did not hit right-handed curveballs this year. That's a very small thing, but Aaron Nola does happen to throw a pretty good curveball.
He is known for that. Yep.
And I do think there's an element of them overthinking this. I also think that there's a lot of respect for Aaron Nola in that clubhouse. I think there's a lot of belief in how he finished the season. Forget the fact that it was against inferior opponents, but I think more than anything, the mood around the team, I think, these guys are trying to be loose. I get it. But generally, I think that it's like, if we're going to go out, we're going to do it our way. And that's fine. I guess that's fine. I don't know. But this is all why my point, I think, about, game 3 will be the toughest task. Like, if you pull it off, if you get this game 3, okay, I'll start to buy that you have a chance. But right now, I don't think they have a chance. No, I don't. I mean, I think this is pretty.
It doesn't look good.
Over. No.
It does not look good. The way I've squared the Nola thing in my mind is the situation they're in and the starters who have come before and all of this. This is their way of making sure their quote unquote best players. It's hard to say that about Nola given his year this year, that their best players don't go unused. And if you're going to do Nola and Ranger in the same game, you can't have Nola come in relief.
Correct.
That's the way I've made peace with it. Yeah.
Correct.
Like this is their way of emptying.
I mean, Rob Thompson's one quote, and this is probably the most instructive quote, was a quote, "I'd regret having either one of these guys not pitch in this series." End quote.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine. If we could quibble about that, fine. I mean, say what you want to say about Aaron Nola, and I know there's a lot of frustrations, but would you be floored if he went through the lineup once and it was good?
No.
Yeah.
So I mean, here's hoping, right? Yeah, you just got to take it one inning at a time.
And if it helps him, if he goes 3 innings and it helps them to figure out the 6th and the 7th later, then this worked.
Yes.
Again,
I agree.
I don't know what the likelihood of that is, but okay, I guess. And because it's back-to-backs, right? Like if you do play game 4, you'd be hypothetically putting less strain on some of your relievers that you would need in game 4. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I think at this point it's just kind of like, just screw it.
Heroics, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
we need somebody to actually put a stamp on this series.
Well, it needs to be early in game 3 to me, right?
Oh, I mean, absolutely agree. Yes.
I mean, you gotta yeah. I mean, somebody's got to do something early in this game. Park one in the seats, sort of get that feeling back. That they can do this. Doesn't even need to be one of the big guys. It's just somebody's got to park one in the seats early in this game, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime Video. This week, it's a rivalry renewed as the Philadelphia Eagles take on the New York Giants. This primetime battle between the Eagles and the Giants will bring intense grit and hard hits. Can the New York Giants find a way to stop Philadelphia quarterback Jalen Hurts from getting outside the pocket with big runs and throws down the field? It's a game that could shift the balance of power in the NFC East, and you don't want to miss it. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with football's best party, TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon. Not a Prime member? Not a problem. Simply sign up for a 30-day free trial. It's the Eagles and the Giants, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime Video. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Bustin' with the Boys is here to let you know that every college football Saturday, FanDuel is dropping profit boosts that can turn wins into bigger wins.
Sounds like we should rename Saturday Booster Day.
Nice.
21 plus and present in select states. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Let's say your small business has a problem. Like maybe one of your doggy daycare customers had an accident. You might say something like,
"Doggone it!
Hi, Chihuahua!
Holy schnauzers!
But if you need someone who can actually help, just say,
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And get help filing a claim from your local State Farm agent. For your small business insurance needs, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Oh, yeah. If the Dodgers score first and or early, like if they take a 2-0 lead on Nola in like the second or third inning, that's just more air out of the balloon. And you can't have any of these things go against you right now. You just can't, because then you make it that much more difficult. And everything that stacks up and paints you more into a corner is just another thing you have to overcome. And right now, this team is not overcoming these things. They're getting close. They're getting so close. If I take a step back, these first two games were like actually kind of good, but they were so like heart-wrenching to see them unfold the way they did. If it happened in the regular season, it would be irritating. You'd just be like, whatever. But because it was in the playoffs and because it happened the way it did in these, in the
Do you want to relitigate the bunt one more time?
I don't know that I want to.
Well, I'll just say not the bunt, but I'm just saying, I'll just ask you this.
Yeah.
In that moment, in that situation, are you playing for the tie or are you playing for the win?
Jesus. I was initially like, okay, I understand this. In the snap I saw Stott square before the first pitch, I'm like, okay, I understand this, fine. But as time ticked away and the first pitch didn't get laid down and they revealed the wheel play and it was clear that Castellanos was going to run
take away all that. Take away all that. I don't want to hear anything about the play. I'm asking you about the fundamental question here, which is, given what you know about the situation, the pitching situation, the score, the feeling of the game, are you playing for the tie or are you playing for the win?
I always want to go for more. I have to talk myself into the strategy of bunting, so I want Stott to swing away there. I want Stott to put a regular at bat in there, and
I think that's where I stand. I think that's, you can, people, we're focusing on who the runner was, what the situation, whatever. I take all that out because I think that the fundamental question is, what do you believe in most here? And a lot of people pointed this out, and I wrote about it, and I think it's accurate. I mean, the Phillies were, during their run, they were the aggressors, right? When they were successful in October, they were the aggressors. And a lot of that was because they were putting balls in the stands and putting pressure on the opponent, of course. But it just felt like such a passive decision in a moment that called for aggression, I think. And I've seen both sides of it. I think there's an argument for both sides. I think I stand on the aggressor side when it comes to October. I think the aggressor is typically rewarded.
And yeah. And I mean, you're at home, you're mounting this comeback. Like, yeah, the
right. It was the feeling of the game, right? It was
the feeling of the game was so real at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, man. Yeah. I know. I hate that single play is, I think, what's going to
right, because again, like what would have, had they hit a home run or had one of their star players done something earlier in that game, we're not talking about this.
Yeah. If Turner comes through with a base hit, in the bottom of the ninth, it doesn't matter anymore. It's just a shame. That's what it is, and that's what it gets reverted to. I don't want to talk about the bunt anymore after this series is over, just because I don't think it's going to really represent what went wrong in these first two games. But it feels like a thing that can just be a whipping post for it, where all of our frustrations need to be taken out on something, need to be vented on something. I totally get that urge. And that play in the midst of what was happening really stands out, mostly because it didn't work. If it worked, then we could be like, well, that was annoying.
Yeah, I mean, the Dodgers, and again, I'm asking you to strip away everything, because the other part of this is that the Dodgers ran a perfect play.
Yes.
And like Stott's bunt was exceptional. Okay.
Yeah, the bunt was good. Right.
It was really good.
It was just
it might be the
better.
best bunt that he's ever had. Yes. So that's why I'm asking you to strip away all this, because like if we're really being honest, I mean, the Dodgers made an all-time great play on that. They did. I mean, they did everything right, and it could have gone. I mean, Muncy could have thrown the ball into left field. I mean, like the margin there is very thin, and that's why I'm not asking about the actual play. I'm asking that, to me, that it comes down to strip away everything else. Like, I want to know about like how you think, and that how you think and how you view that situation leads to what your decision is.
Yeah.
And I think there was some flawed thinking in in the decision. That's all. Strip away how it was executed.
Yeah.
I just don't necessarily agree with the decision. I don't.
Execution.
And
I
see it both ways. I see it, but I just I want to try to win the game there. There's nobody out. I want to try to win the game. I don't like giving a Dodgers bullpen that is struggling. I don't want to give them an out. I don't.
Yeah. Yep. No, execution is the name of the game. We saw a lot of that in game 2. It wasn't just the bunt and the Dodgers play of that. We saw the
but I mean, like,
Freddie Freeman.
The Kirkering comes in. Right. Well, yeah. I mean, Kirkering comes in. If he doesn't break the guy's bat, that's an out at home. But because he broke his bat, the ball had this weird spin, and it was detonated into the ground. And Turner, has a tougher play, and his throw is just a little off, and the run scores. And like,
that's it. They say game of inches. And that's exactly right. I'm at peace with Turner's play there. I thought he did a pretty good job. I don't think it's easy. I don't think it's easy on the run, running toward home and slightly toward the third base line to
on his ball that is just dying in the grass. Yeah, it wasn't
in the grass.
You
got to thread it between the runner's lane and where JT is, and it's just there's a lot that goes into something like that. I can't pile on that play. He almost made it. So what? There were other things that went wrong. Okay, Matt. There is a chance here, and this is the perspective I am now taking into this game and whatever games may exist after tonight, that the Phillies have a chance to do something heroic. It is a mindset I adopted.
I love that you're talking yourself into this. Yes,
I am. I have to, man. This is where I'm at as a fan. I am painted into a corner too. It's the same mindset I brought to. I can't believe I'm speaking this cursed game's name into existence. Game 7 in 2023. I was looking at it as a chance for somebody to do something heroic and make themselves eternal.
We should go back and listen to that podcast.
Oh boy!
Before the pre-game set, did we tape something before Game 7?
I don't remember exactly what our schedule was then, but man, that I came into that thinking, yes, it's somebody's turn to become a legend. Now, that's not necessarily going to happen tonight. It needs like 3 games to kind of evolve as far as the series goes. But you know what? Hey, it's gotta start
maybe someone's heater begins tonight.
Yeah, I need it, Matt. I need it because if they fall on their faces, the offseason is going to be tough. It's going to be a tough offseason.
I'm not speaking as a fan here. I'm speaking as somebody who's been around this team and seen these guys. And I would say that it doesn't feel right for it to end like this, or end. And even if they don't win the series, it just doesn't feel right for them to not get at least have a moment or get a win in this series.
Yeah.
And I do think that this is a good team. I think the Dodgers are probably a little better, and we've seen that, but I don't think the gap is that wide. And I think that's why, if you're a Phillies fan, like you're just kind of, you're at a loss for words here. I'm sure you're angry, but more than anything, if you're a rational Phillies fan, you're just sort of at a loss for words here because they very well could be up 2-0 in this series. And please don't laugh at me when I say that, but they really could be up 2-0 in this series right now.
No, they could.
Because I don't think the gap is that wide. But there's a gap, and that's a real thing. And that's tough, I think, to reconcile right now for a lot of people.
Yeah. No, it really is. I think the search will continue for a while for reasons. I'm just looking at some of the National League team splits this year and looking at, home runs in particular. The Dodgers led the National League in home runs hit at home with 142.
A lot of home runs at Dodger Stadium. Mike Petriello just wrote about it. Like, what the hell? I don't really know. But
yeah, you don't expect that to be a dinger park. And of course, which team was second in home runs? But the Phillies, 20 behind there, and they hit none in the first 2 games. Man, you need something. Just need something. Just need a little spark, and then we'll see what happens from there. Maybe it could be like
you need somebody to rip one into the night. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. You need someone to rip one into the night, the late night. It's going to be on top of all this. Now it starts at 9:00 Eastern, which
it's going to be a real kick in the balls if they lose Game 3. Sorry, not to put that in the air for you, but
oh boy. Okay, so it's a mix. We need to. I am conjuring up all the positivity I can as like a last ride kind of situation, while understanding that, boy, this doesn't look great and it doesn't feel great.
And I think that's, I give them credit because they're saying the right things, and I don't know if they're actually thinking this way. Whatever. I think I think generally they're looking at this, yes, as sort of like a, last ride. It's like, well, you know what? Okay, like let's go out, let's try to have fun, right? Like let's just like try to like if this is it for us. I don't know. Let's just try to have fun, and maybe having fun is what they need, and
Absolutely.
maybe it's not.
This is
Dodgers
what we
are
got,
good.
man.
Dodgers are really good.
They are.
They're facing a tough pitcher.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know. How do the Phillies get 27 outs tonight, Paul?
I want to see something miraculous, Matt. We're overdue for something big time that comes out of nowhere. Just I've been missing that feeling. Where's the big hit? They've been getting good starting pitching performances. Where's the big hit? Give me a big hit. Give me something.
That's the thing about that game, and like I'm not going to talk about the crowd because I thought the crowd was great, but
yeah, no, the crowd's fine.
But during the game, everyone was just like begging, just pleading for them to do something. And like Edmundo Sosa gets a broken bat single for the first day of the game, and the place goes wild. And I'm just like, man, if someone could just do something here, like they're going to win this game. And it just never came.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, recent history is not great, and the precedent is not great. They haven't looked.
I feel like you've talked yourself in and out of this over the course of the last half hour, and I feel like I'm like the devil on your shoulder here right now.
No, that's what this whole week has been, Matt. It's been back and forth, feeling good, feeling not good. Honestly, like I mean, you heard me when before the series started how up I was and excited for it I was, and it largely, objectively, has delivered two very good games. I'm sure neutral observers are like, "Oh man, that was fun. That was exciting to watch." But from this side of things, on the trailing side after those two games, it's hard to see that. It's hard to really feel like the Phillies have been in, quote unquote, these games, even though the margins have been so small. It's a tough spot. But hey, what else we got? What else we got but our hope? And we'll see if the Phillies can do something about that tonight, October 8th, out west in Dodger Stadium. Oh, buckle up. This could be the last ride. Hopefully it isn't, but here we go. Hopefully you're able to enjoy the game. Hopefully we're all able to enjoy the game. We'll see how it goes. We will be back with you, Matt and I will, at some point after this game, which may be the end of the series.
Maybe we're talking tomorrow morning about Game 4.
Yeah, maybe we're talking about Game 4. I would love to be back with you tomorrow morning talking about a Game 4. But the boys got to make it happen, and this is their shot.
The boys.
All right, here we go. Buckle up. Game 3, do or die. The Phillies take on the Dodgers. Aaron Nola versus Yoshinobu Yamamoto out in Dodger Stadium. This has been Phillies Therapy, part of the Believe Podcast Network. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We would love to have you join our Patreon if you haven't already. We're going to be discussing lots of stuff during the offseason when that eventually comes. Game day threads have been really good for just kind of getting it all out there and venting and being among a somewhat rational community. We're all subject to our little bouts of craziness too during the playoffs. Don't worry about that. But if you want to join us, we'd love to have you. Patreon.com/Phillies Therapy. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Yep, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll catch you next time.
The NFL is back, and FanDuel's got everything you need to play your game, from same-game parlays to live betting. Right now, new customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. 21 plus and present in select states. 18 plus in Kentucky and Wyoming. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.